What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Resident Horror. And today I will be talking about an experimental film by way of Canadian director Kyle Edward Ball in his feature-length film called Skinamarink. It is a 2022 supernatural horror film with a budget of $15,000, grossed between $1.2 to $1.5 million in the box office. It is either a love it or hate it film. It left a lot of people stumped. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. A lot of people just don't get it. But here we go. I'm going to try to explain this film to you based on what I watched last night and give you my thoughts and if I recommend this to you. Now, this film is about two young children that live in a house with their father. When they wake up, their father is missing. The doors are missing and the windows to the house are missing, signifying that they are trapped in this house. How did we get here? This is where everything is left to your own interpretation. So let's talk about first these camera angles. The camera angles, they're shot from the south to north up on an angle. So they're not head on, right? So everything is kind of jarring to you. So think of somebody that's looking up to somebody at all times. Shots are panned and focused on particular areas for a long period of time, which I thought was very effective. The film is shot in the dark, so your film is grainy. It's like night vision goggles, kind of greenish and dark. Lights are kind of jarring to the face, and sound irritates your ears. Okay, we have two children in a house, their father's missing. They're continually going around the house, they're hearing voices, so we know that there's some sort of entity in this house that is messing with the children and the house. Okay, so how do we know what's going on here? In this film, there's a TV that's showing cartoons, right? So normally, kids sit down, they watch cartoons, they play with Legos, toys, and so forth. So we have a room with a TV. And in this room, the cartoons are on the TV. And when you watch this TV, there's three particular cartoons that I want you to pay attention to if you watch this again. There's the cartoon with the spider web, where a character is stuck in the spider web, meaning they cannot get out, they're entangled in the web. Second cartoon is a tape player being played where they pause it on the cartoon and one of the characters disappear. Play it, they reappear, pause it, they disappear. So things are on a reel, already filmed, has already happened, and the film is being manipulated. This hence carries over to the illusion that they're having that there is no windows and no doors, and also missing toilets. Everything disappears when they see something there, it's gone. So they are being played, right? Being played like a movie, being played like a recorder, being played like a tape. Another cartoon on the screen is when the character is coming out of the wall, going into the wall, coming out of the wall, going into the wall. When they go in the wall, the cartoon doesn't, the other cartoon character doesn't see him. So meaning that this entity now is part of this house and has the ability to show his or herself whenever they see fit. Now, next. I believe that these children are going through stress from a divorce. The father is doing the best that he can. You see that the children also are somewhat being neglected, getting their own food. They can't find their father. They don't know what's going on, so they have to eat cereal in a bowl, and they're standing on chairs trying to get to the counter, to the cabinets, right? So we can say that they're going through it, all right? Now, there's a scene where the daughter goes upstairs and the daughter sees the father, and then she looks to the right of the bed, she sees the mother. But we do know that the mother is not there because earlier in the film, when the father woke up, they briefly show the father making a call on the phone, calling someone, telling them not to worry. The children were playing hide and seek when fell down the stairs. The wounds are not really that bad, doesn't need stitches and so forth. So don't be alarmed. That's telling me then that the next time there's a visitation, that don't be alarmed. This is what happened. Don't call DCF or anything like that. This is what happened. We don't need an ambulance. That's the last time we see the father until later on when the child is looking at the father on the bed. Now, the child now looks to the right, remember, and sees the mother. Looks back to the left, doesn't see the father. Then the mother walks into the closet where this entity is. And the entity deletes the mother in front of Kylie, the daughter. So he definitely is torturing these children through the parents and also through the fear of the dark and fear of just moving things around, and they are trapped. And he wants to delete eventually everybody in this house after torturing them for over 572 days, which it says in the end. So with that cartoon and all of that going on with the web, the loop of the tape, we know that this is a loop. They're in a time loop of torture with this malevolent being. So how did this malevolent being come into existence? We know that children have wild imaginations. And I feel like this being then came into existence through the children because they wanted someone to play with. And he's like, I'll be your playmate. I'll play with you. And eventually opened the door, opened the portal for this entity now to come in, which has now befriended the children and became that father figure, became that parent, because he likes to play with them. But when they don't listen to them, he what? Punishes them. Now, we don't know if this is a female or a male entity. I'm just saying he for the sake of the video. We'll just say this entity. Punishes the children as if when Kaylee did not listen to him, what did he do? He took the ability of her to talk away. So this entity does not play any games, and then showed the other child, the brother, this is what happens when you don't listen to me. And then also continue to have that young child stab himself in the eye. This is children we're talking about here. So this entity can care less about adults, baby, youth, doesn't matter. We also know that this entity has full control and full power in this universe, because he says, I have power over everything here. So he can make you see things, hear things, connive you into obviously stabbing yourself in the eye, everything vile. So that's pretty much what I ascertained from this. This is just a entity that's preying on the grief of this family that is going through it from a divorce aspect, and also the effect on the children. And then you have in play the children imagining, conjuring something up that therefore became their friend, that they thought it was their friend, but it really wasn't their friend. Because this is one of those films where when you watch it, you're able to, you know, interpret it differently than I did. You may get something else out of this film. And one of the keys to this film and the strong points is actually how it was filmed, because it is so disjointed, so all over the place. You just have to pick and choose and put the puzzle together. You actually see things in the dark. It's filmed in the dark, and when you're looking in the dark camera, your eyes begin to like see things that are not there probably, or there. Some things they want you to see that are there, and some things that are not there, but your mind is making them a reality. Another strong point of this is the ability to use still shots on items, where you're just staring at something for like 40 seconds and you're waiting for something to happen. Your eyes are scanning the screen to see if something moves, if you see the hand of this monster. It is fantastic in that nature. So good job on the still shots. I love the experimental camera angles with this film. The premise, yes, is all over the place, but it was effective. It was effective to me. Now, is this film for everybody? Absolutely not. It goes against all the tenements of filming, all of what we know. Like I said, is experimental, so this is not for everybody. Everybody will not like this. It may take 2 and 3 watches to really appreciate what's going on, but some people may not get to the second watch after they watch it. Because I'm going to be honest, the first time I tried to get through this, I only got through about 20 minutes, turned it off, came back weeks later and said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try, and I'm glad I did. So it was completely different from the norm, and different is not bad. Give it a chance. It's not for everybody. Please let me know what you think in the comments. So I can't recommend it, but I can only recommend it for those that want to dive into something that's different, but definitely not for the masses. So I hope you guys enjoyed my explanation of the film, what I got from it. It may seem disjointed, but the film is disjointed. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.